Hi everybody, this is Lara at pureelliottwave.com. I'm going to have a look at Tesla with you today in response to a member's request. I'm only going to look at classic technical analysis for Tesla. I'm not going to do any Elliott wave because my experience, even large equities like this one, still don't have enough volume for good looking Elliott wave structures. So weekly chart, daily chart, classic analysis. The big question I guess everyone wants answered is this pullback for Tesla over? Let's start with the weekly chart. At this high back here, not on a closing basis for this, but definitely on here, we had some bearish divergence between price and RSI. So up to this high, it's unsurprising there was a deep pullback. After this pullback, ADX was still indicating an upward trend, very extreme, above 45 and above both DX lines. After this pullback, it's unsurprising there's a few weeks of downward movement, finding support about 550. And then we have a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, and then a double low with a morning star candlestick pattern here. This bullish engulfing candlestick pattern has support from volume, but the morning star doesn't. But that was a sustainable low, and we did see new highs from Tesla, despite there being a lack of volume on the important third candlestick for the morning star. So just because there wasn't support from volume off this low doesn't mean that the next upward movement can't be sustainable, is what we can learn from that. At this high here, there is no bearish divergence between price and RSI, so not particular weakness here. At this low here, there's a bullish candlestick pattern in the form of a hammer, and then we're getting some upward movement. I actually would expect to see lows about 700 tested again. We might see another double bottom before I expect price to move up and away and retest all-time highs about 1250. At this high here, there are two bearish candlestick patterns. Here's a bearish engulfing pattern. It's also got a bearish long upper wick and a gravestone doji, as the name implies. It's pretty bearish. There's a week of downward movement here, and it has strong push from volume. That's one reason I am expecting more downward movement for Tesla to test support again about 700. No signal from on-balance volume, it remains constrained. RSI is neutral, ADX indicating no clear trend. Price is consolidating with resistance about 1220 to 1250 and pretty strong support now I would expect about 700. ADX indicating no clear trend, we've been over that. Stochastics neutral and ATR flat as price moves sideways, normal behaviour for a consolidation. What about the daily chart? Let's have a look at this high and this low. How did price behave with these indicators? That high's off to the left of the chart. This low here, a bullish candlestick pattern and a piercing pattern with really strong support from volume. Upward movement here. At this high, no bearish candlestick pattern. This isn't a bearish candlestick pattern, but we are now getting downward movement. Here in the last few days, there's a bullish pattern here and a hammer. It's got strong push from volume, but it's overall downward movement, so that volume's bearish. As price falls here, we're seeing volume pushing price lower, but now, for the last couple of sessions, volume is declining as price falls essentially of its own weight. That's a shorthand way of saying price can fall due to a lack of activity from buyers just as strong as it can due to increased activity from sellers. On balance volume found resistance, it's moving lower. That's a pretty weak signal though, so not particularly bearish. ADX declining, no clear trend at this time frame either. RSI neutral. At this high, again, no bearish divergence between price and RSI. So just because we don't see that at highs or lows doesn't mean the high or low can't be sustainable, which makes them particularly difficult to identify. Stochastics and RSI both neutral and ATR increasing as price falls. So I am still expecting at the daily chart level, it looks like we're probably still going to get another test of support about 700. I'd be very interested to see how price behaves if it gets down there, and I think the likelihood of it bouncing up off there if it does get down there is pretty high, and if that happens I expect we'd have a double bottom, and then I'd expect upward movement to test new all-time highs for Tesla. So that's my short analysis for Tesla for you this week, and I'll be doing 3 extra markets for you next. Actually, no, I'll be doing more next week because we've got our Learn Pure Elliott Wave online course on special next week. So I'm going to be doing 7 extra markets for you, one a day. That's the plan anyway. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and I really appreciate your engagement on the YouTube channel.